All right, hello everyone, and welcome to MT4Professional. My name is Randy Lindsay. I'm your host today. Joining me is Claudio Cardinal. Let me get a shout out if you can hear me and see my screen, and I'll get going right away. Hi, Raphael. Can you hear me okay? Gwendolyn? 5x5. Thanks, Rich. I appreciate it. Yes. Awesome. All right. So today I'm going to do things a little bit different. Normally, I go through a presentation on what MT4Professional is and what its main features are. But today I'm going to go through some specific training. We've noticed looking back at the data that a lot of people are getting in. They're getting started with MT4Professional, but they are having some issues and some understanding issues with configuring the scanner. So today I'm going to spend a whole session just on scanner configurations. So I want to make sure that you understand how to do it and what's going on, and I'll be glad to do that. There is a recording of today's session. It's always available, and it will be sent to you in an email about an hour after the presentation, so you can watch it as many times as you like. So I want to make sure you know that we are here for educational purposes only, that MT4Professional and Resilient Traders are not investment advisory services, and we are not registered advisors. So we cannot give you specific trade advice, but we can teach and train you on how to use our platform, how to set it up, and how to configure it to meet your specific needs. Trading in futures, stocks, spot currencies, Forex, has a large potential for rewards, but also has a large potential for risks. So you need to be aware of the risks involved in order to be able to trade in any of these markets. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so please get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets. Let me go to the next slide then. As I said before, I'm Randy Lindsay. I am your trade coach and operations director here. Claudio is our product development director and techno guru. So I pass all the technology stuff off to him whenever I can't handle it. Today, we're going to be going through the market scanner configuration. I'll be spending most of my time on MT4, going through those configurations. And I want to make sure and answer all of your questions. So the live demonstration will be interactive with my demonstration. Then at the end, I'll make a very special offer to those who haven't yet gotten a copy of MT4Professional. And of course, there's always going to be Q&A throughout the presentation. So the live demonstration will include the full scanner demonstrations here. So let me go ahead and pull that up. Get that set up for you. All right, so what I want to do is I want to go through and build my MACD setup. So the MACD also looks at relative strength. And what I'm doing is I also have a moving average with my price. So going over the chart setup, you can see that I've got price, a moving average, MACD with signal, and relative strength with the overbought and oversold lines. So I'm going to be setting up my scanner that you see over here on the right, looking for bullish or bearish setups based upon these configurations. I know that whenever the price gets down below this exponential moving average, it tends to be bearish. And when it's greater than the exponential moving average, like here, then it's bullish. So bearish, bullish. So that's going to be one of the criteria that I want to check. Second, on the MACD, I know that when I see a MACD signal line and the histogram itself cross, that gives me a good indication of either a buy or a sell. So when this histogram, which is the faster of the two, crosses above the slower signal line, which is the red line, that's a bullish signal. Whenever I see it cross below the red line, that's usually a bearish signal. Now, of course, you get these crosses mixed in along the way, but the idea behind multiple indicators is to help to negate the false indications and to stay in line with what the true direction of price is going. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I want to take a bullish sentiment from the moving average. I want to take a bullish sentiment from my MACD, and I want to determine if relative strength is rising or falling. Now, in this case, I'm not looking to see if it's overbought or oversold. I'm looking to see if the slope of my strength is increasing. That's bullish. If the slope of relative strength is decreasing, that's bearish. So I want to include all of this in a configuration, and I want my scanner to look for it without me having to do anything else but to look at the colors. And if I see a color on my scanner that says green, I know all of the conditions that I've set up are in line and I am looking for a potential buy. And vice versa, if it's red, I'm looking for a specific sell. If there's some no man land, that is, if I'm above the moving average, but I see a cross on my MACD, or maybe the slope on the RSI is going down, then that's going to produce a yellow or a halfway between. So all of the conditions are not true, then it's going to be yellow. Pretty simple to do. And notice how I can just look over at all of the instruments I'm interested in one glance and see which instruments I'd be interested in. It's pretty powerful. So let's spend some time specifically on the scanner setup for this. Now I'm going to have another presentation at a different date that's going to go and show you all the details of setting up the charts. And of course, I usually will do this every week anyway, but today I'm focusing specifically on the scanner configuration. So by clicking the Select a Configuration button, I can go and click Edit on my configuration, and I can edit all of my rules. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the very beginning. I'm going to start from scratch and create it from the very beginning, because I can show you what I've already done, but there's a difference between showing you what I've done and walking through how each one of them is done. And that's what today's edit session is all about. So I'm going to create a custom configuration, and I'm not going to go with any other setup or pre-configured thing. So I'm just going to start everything clean and from scratch. Now, what I want to do here is I want to start from a configuration for my charts. I will use that because I'm not interested in anything else other than that. And I'm going to go over here to my scanner. I want to take my symbol list. I want to take the symbol list from the same one. Okay, now my scanner. I could pull that same scanner list in, but I'm not going to. I'm going to start from scratch and just build it. So I have a 4-hour, a daily, and a weekly chart setup. So I want to see my scanner scanning through all 3 of those time frames. So the first one I'm going to be looking for is a 4-hour. And notice there are no color rules, so I need to define a color rule. A color rule is the rule I'm going to use to define bullish or bearishness. So let's create one. Click the plus sign. The first one is going to be let me give it a name. So this name is going to be a strong signal, either bullish or bearish. Default color is yellow. That's fine. The first one, I'll do the bullish condition. So let me go and find a nice green color. And then I've got to look at my indicators. So the first condition I want to look at, I want to compare price with the exponential moving average. So the idea of that is to set it up going to be looking at price. And I'm going to be doing the close of price. Okay. So I'm looking at the close. I want to make sure that the close is greater than the 15-period exponential moving average. So I need to go up here under trend, moving average, and he's set up as a 15-period exponential moving average, which is based on the close of price. And I'm looking at the current bar. Click yes. So I want to make sure that the close is greater than the 15-period. That's the first condition that's going to make it bullish. Second condition, I want to make sure that my histogram on the MACD is greater than the signal line. So let's go ahead and add that condition. Click the plus sign. Let me find my my MACD, there it is, indicator. I will use that indicator. Standard settings 12, 26, and 9 on the close of price. Baseline indicator is the histogram. Notice I have the histogram output and I have the signal line output. So I'm going to use the baseline because I'm going to use it as a directional indication. So I want to see that my baseline is greater than the signal line. So I'll use the same indicator, go pull it up. And in this case, I'm going to set it to signal line. So now you can see I'm using the MACD base indicator, and I'm going to check to make sure that it's greater than the MACD signal line. That's this case right here, when the white indicator is greater than this red indicator. That's the second condition. Third condition, I want to use the relative strength. So I need to find another oscillator. In this case, I'm looking for relative strength. 14-period relative strength based on the close of price. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using the indicator shift value. What the shift value does, it allows me to look back in time at a previous value and compare it to the current one. So the current price needs to be, if I want to be bullish, then I need to see that this slope is going up. So that means that the current value needs to be greater than the previous value. So I'm going to use this one as a 1, which is the current value. And then I need to make sure that that's greater than the previous value. So I'll do the exact same thing, pull up that same relative strength indicator. But in this case, I want to shift it. So put it back to 2. That says that the previous bar, if I'm looking at this, then the current bar is here, and the previous bar would be 1 bar below it, 1 there. So I want to see that the current bar is greater than the previous bar. I could go 2 bars back if I wanted to. If I don't want to just look at 1 bar back, I could look 2 bars back, 3 bars back, 4 bars back. Either way, you're going to get a measure of the difference between those two, which will give us a slope. And that's the idea that we're looking for. So I'm just going to set number 2 there. So that's the previous bar. So I'm looking to see that the RSI, current RSI is greater than the 2, which is the previous RSI. If all 3 of these are true, I want that cell to go green. Now I want to make a bearish condition. So let me find my red. No, that's crimson. Where's that red? There it is. All right. So now, since MT4Professional is professional and very easy to use, all I have to do is just go and find the exact same indicators I've already set up and just drop down and find them. So in this case, close needs to be less than the 15-period EMA, right? So if price closes below that, That's the start of a bear move. Next, I want to see that my MACD base indicator has become less than my signal line. And I need to see that the relative strength of the current bar is less than the previous relative strength value. Now you can always iterate this and look at maybe 3 or 4 or 5 bars back. It depends upon your strategy and what you're looking for. But this is all that I need to look for to replicate what I'm trying to do on these charts. Okay. If I wanted another condition, I can just simply click the plus sign and give myself another condition. If I have some descriptions or notes I want to put in here, then there's a place for that as well. I've already given it a name. It's called strong signal. My default color will be yellow if neither of these conditions are true. So what the scanner will do is it will come in, look for condition 1 first. Whatever appears here, it'll always go to first. It'll go in this order. Close greater than the moving average, and MACD has to be greater than, and the RSI has to be sloping up. All of these have to be true. That's what the AND operator does. If none of them or any one of them are not true, then it'll go to the OR operator. So does this first or this one. So not true, then it goes over here and does this one. It evaluates condition set 2. If all of these are true, all of them, then it'll color it red. If any one of these are not true, then it'll go to the next OR. If there are no other ORs, then by default, it'll go to the default color. So 1, 2, fail, fail, it'll go yellow. If this one's true, it'll go green. If this one's true, it'll go red. If both are not true, it'll go yellow. Click OK. Now you can see I have strong signal on my 4-hour chart. I have a daily chart and a weekly chart, so all I have to do is click the plus sign to add each one of those. So 4-hour, daily. Select the, oh, it's already there. Look at that. Just single click and it's on. Now I can go and add my weekly chart. Pull it down, push that on it. So now I am using the exact same scan criteria for all 3 of the time frames I was interested in. And it will go through it every single time. If I want to be notified whenever this signal fires, whenever all the conditions are true, then all I have to do is tick this mark and it will automatically start notifying me through the MT4 notification system. And if you set up and verify your phone number on the MT4 members area, then you will get notified through SMS messaging as well. The size configuration just automatically sizes the width of your scanner panel. So you don't have to worry about setting that up. It's automatic, so it'll take care of you. If you want to make it larger or smaller because maybe you have 3, 4, or 5 different ones you're using, or if you're only looking at one, then you can adjust it if you need to, but usually the auto setting is perfectly fine. So click OK and make sure that you click the save button. Got to give it a name. So I'm going to call this one MACD RSI EMA and price. There we go. Strategy for there. And let me save that. Close this off. Now you'll see that I have the MACD, RSI, EMA, and price configuration ready to go. So now all I have to do is just click the load button and it will automatically load that configuration up for me. And notice the charts all look exactly like the previous one. The symbol list is the same. But did I replicate the scanner so that it did it properly? Well, it looks like it's working to me. If we click on the dollar Canadian, we can see that the dollar Canadian is currently bearish, bearish, bearish. So that's a good indication. That's bearish. Daily indication, we are closed below. So that's bearish. That's bearish. That's sloping down. That's bearish. That's 2 down. The third one is the weekly. It says that it's yellow. It's because the first item is still bullish. So it has not crossed under. The MACD has crossed under. The slope looks like it's flat. So you can see it's still kind of in flux. It hasn't decided which direction to go. So it's yellow. So we're waiting for a real clear indication. So looks like everything is working just the way I wanted it to. Awesome. So are there any questions? That's a great way to go through and see the power of MT4Professional and how easily you can use it to set up and configure the strategies that you're looking for, regardless of the number of time frames or the number of indicators or instruments that you want to use. So that's great. You're welcome, Raphael. We share the same strategy to trade equities, currencies, and options here in Brazil. Awesome. That's great. So if you had MT4 running on MT4Professional running on that, you would be able to have that completely automated. That's great. So if there aren't any other questions, then I can. Oh, your MT4 has stopped working. Okay, have you sent in a support ticket? That's the best way to get it done. Send a email to support@mt4professional.com or go to the members area right here. Go over to the Help and Documentation Center. If you logged in, if you haven't already logged in, then you can go and check out the full knowledge base here or go to the ticket column and create a brand new support ticket. Either one of those is the best way to do it. Let us know that your MT4 has stopped working, and we'll be glad to help you get going again. Yeah, and if you need someone to sit down with you and get you back up and running again, we'll be more than glad to do that as well. All right, there's a specific question on a setup. I won't have time to go through that. Maybe I can after today's presentation, but I'll go ahead and answer any more questions about today's configuration. Once this is done, I'll go and make a very special offer for those of you who are here for the first time and want to find out how you too can use a copy of MT4Professional running for your application. So I'll go through and make a very quick demonstration now. So we're going to make this offer, but before we do, I want to run a quick poll to find out whether you are or are not using MT4Professional. And if you are using it, I'd like to know a little bit about it. But if you're currently using it, yes, and you love it, then tick that. If you're not, you just haven't had time to try it out yet, no, but you want to know more, that's where most of the people in the class are. No, I'm not sure that if you need it or not, or you're not interested at the moment. All those are perfectly good answers. So make sure and you select one of those and click the submit button, and we'll get on with our presentation today. Absolutely. We do have a 14-day free trial. So once the poll is over, I'll give you all the details. It doesn't run on a Bloomberg terminal, but it does run with MT4. Any MT4 terminal will run. Did we finish the poll, Claudio? There it is. All right. Well, about almost 40% of the class are currently using it and love it. So I'm glad, because we went through some really good training today. I hope that you found it useful. A good 20% or more haven't tried it, but you want to know more, and some not sure yet. So let's move on then. So to get your very own copy of MT4 Professional, we've put it all together in a monthly package. You get the full featured MT4 Professional platform for either MT4 or MT5. You get exclusive access to our Skype community, unlimited configuration storage and emails on the cloud. You get 100 SMS notifications per month included. And all of the pre-configured presets are included with your value. Now, this is what we suggest, but of course, you're not going to pay that. We, for a limited time, have made that available at $194 a month. But if you're part of my webinar every week, I always knock that off and give you a $97 per month monthly subscription. This is locked in for the duration of your subscription as long as you use MT4 Professional. If at any point you cancel, which you can cancel at any time in the members area, this goes away and it goes right back to the $194 per month application. So there is a 14-day free trial to gain access to it. So click the link mt4professional.com/trial to get started today to lock in your consistent monthly rate. If after 14 days you absolutely love it, just do nothing and it'll automatically start billing your credit card. If you cancel anytime before the 14-day is up, then you won't be charged a penny, ever. But if you wait until the 15th day, yeah, you will be charged. And we'll send you several warnings and notices before that happens, so you don't have to worry about it coming in unless you just ignore it. But mt4professional.com/trial to get your very own copy going today. If you do have any other questions or comments, send a line to support@mt4professional.com, and we'll be glad to give you all the attention that you need. That's support@mt4professional.com to get going on your questions or any support items that you might need. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the, let me put this, leave that there. I want to go back to my platform and change it a little bit here so that you can see. Yeah, still see that. There was a question that wanted to know about a short sell setup using specific data. So they want to know using a 20 EMA below a 50 EMA. Okay, and price has to close greater than the EMA or both. Otherwise, no trades. So the short setup, so it looks like we want to do that from the scratch. So let me just go ahead and select a configuration. I do want to use EMA and price. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a configuration. I'm going to use the EMA and price as a template, and then I will edit it. So this one will be, let me see this. It looks like it's using a 2050 EMA. EMA and price trade signals. And 15 minute and 30 minute only. All right, let's do that real quick. So we'll set this up. I've got a 15 minute there. I've already got a 30 minute. We'll pull that in. EMA and price, I think that's set up for now. So I'll go ahead and set that for now. We'll save that. We'll go over here. I'll use my same symbol list that I've got. Let's go through the scanner rules and see what we've got. So you wanted to have a 15-minute and a 30-minute. So I don't need the hourly, so I'll just get rid of that real quick. Let me edit my color rule because I already knew I have a price interacting with a moving average. So you want to see if the 20 and the 50 EMA. So that's what we've got. So I currently have a 15. So let me edit that and make it a 20. So I have a 20 period exponential moving average based on close. And I'm going to set up I think that's all I have. Let me see. Yeah, that's all I've got. So I need to add one more. Not that one over here. This one's going to be a 50 EMA. All right. So what you need to see, the 20 EMA. No, that's the short. This is the long. So I want to see the 20 EMA greater than the 50. Greater than the 50, that's bullish. And price has to be less than the 20. Okay. Let's see if price is less than the 20. All right. So you want 20 greater than the 50, but you want price less than the 20. Okay, that's what we've got. So that's your long or your bullish setup. Or it's going to check for a bearish setup. So you're going to be looking at the 20 EMA. You want it to be less than the 50 EMA. And you want price to be greater than the 20. There you go. And it's on the 30 and the 50 minute. So we'll click OK. Otherwise, if this one's not true, or if that one's not true, there's no trade, it stays yellow. And so that's our main color rule. We'll select OK. We'll save it. EMA and price trade signals. So, let me see. Let me edit that really quick because on this one, I had just the EMA and price configuration set up for the scanner. So let me go through, and I'm not going to do that. So let me load it. This is the current setup right now, 15-minute, 30-minute using those, but I need to change this around. And so for the indicator list, I need to make this moving average a 20. And I also need to go and make one more. This one needs to be a 50. I don't know. There you go. There's your 50. So you got your 20 and your 50, and you've got price. So this is the setup that I want to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that as a template. And I have EMA on there several times. Call this one EMA 2050. So what I want to do then with this template is put it in my configuration. So let's add the template. We're going to find our EMA 2050, open that up, pull it in here, click OK, save. And now when I load it, now I'll have my EMA and 50 template loaded on both charts, set up just the way that I like it. So now it's going to go through and scan for both the 15 and the 30-minute for any condition where you have the price greater than the 20. Actually, the price is less than the 20, but the EMA greater than. So it's looking for buy signal anytime the value is in this range. and likewise for the 30-minute. So it has one sell set up, Euro Aussie. So you got price in between. You've got a sell signal, and you've got price here up in between and sell signal. So it looks like you've got a nice setup on the Euro Aussie, Euro New Zealand. You can see the setup as well. Price has gone greater than, so that one hasn't cycled through yet. Price is closed greater than the, well, it's true. Price is greater than the 20. And this is less than the 50. So that's true. And that's true. So here you got, that's why you've got another bearish setup. So there you have a strategy now that's been enabled and is working for both timeframes. Now, if I only had your email address, or if you were an MT4Professional subscriber, I could send it to you right now. Because on MT4Professional, if you look at the edit, notice there's a share button here. So if you are currently an MT4Professional user, I can send it to you right now, and you can have it right away. This same configuration. Absolutely. So just let me know. Ramon wants to know if there is the capability for paper trading. Built into MT4 is the capability to paper trade. So you can set up a demo account, which is the same as a paper trading. You can also set up a live account, which is live or real trading. And you can also set up EAs and back test them as well. So absolutely. All right, how would you do this scanner for the Hawkeye Roadkill? All right, oh, I'm glad you asked that. I happen to have one already set up for that. This particular one, let me load that, is using the Roadkill for two different time frames, a 15 and 30 minute. I have a 5, 15, and 30-minute chart setup. So you can see that I've got these set up running on both of those ones. And I'm looking here specifically just at trend, volume, and heat map on multiple time frames. I'm not looking at it specifically for the roadkill. I'm just looking at it specifically for the condition that would cause the roadkill to go. Like for now, you can see the euro is just given a double dot bullish signal on the uptake. So let's see what the configuration looks like if we were to go through and check it out. So looking at the 5-minute, you can see I have trend, volume, and heat map. All three of the tests are looking at that. And that's what the roadkill does, is it looks at the trend and the volume, but it doesn't have the heat map. So I'm looking at all three, trend, volume, and heat map on all of my time frames. So looking at trend, then you can see I have the Hawkeye trend and stops indicator loaded. I can use the default settings, which is fine, or I can go through and individually define each one of these, which is fine also. I'm looking to see if the output of that trend indicator is greater than 0. Now this one is trend indicator 1, that's bullish. Trend 2 is bearish, and trend 3 is neutral, white. So I'm looking at bullish, bearish, or neutral. So if for the bullish condition, I'm looking for 1 to be greater than 0. And so how did I come up with that? Well, I'll show you. In bearish condition, I'm looking for 2 to be greater than 0. And there's the condition here for white. That's 3. So if it's in a congestion setup, then if it's signaling, I want to show that I'm in congestion. So let me very quickly show you the rules for this. So you can see there are some that are currently in a congestion mode. So what you're looking for is if you pull up your data window and you hover your mouse over the indicators, then you can see the output over here firing off and letting you know whether you're bullish, bearish, or neutral. So let me leave my mouse over one of these. It's going to be bearish. And so you'll see that the Hawkeye trend long is blank. The Hawkeye trend short has a value. That's the price that the trend plots on. So you can see that it's greater than 0. The neutral is blank, so that it's not greater than 0. So each of these are considered to be 0 unless it fires. So that's all I'm looking for. So I'm looking for the first trend line 1. This is line 1. This is line 2, and that's line 3. So if you were to go into your configuration and edit it, and I edit that trend, then if I were to go to the actual indicator itself and edit it, then you can see that I'm using indicator line 1. You have up to 8 different output values that you can use. I'm only interested in the first one. And you saw how I did it by using the data window right here. So that's line 1 is bullish, line 2 is bearish, and line 3 is neutral. It's that simple. Okay, so Annette wants me to send this to her. So let me go through this. Edit, share. There we go. Share, and yes. Boom. Done. You should have that. So what happens is when I share something with someone, or if you share something with any other trader in the network, on the configuration list that you see here, if you click the select configuration button, then you can scroll down to the bottom in the received inbox. And then from that, you should see the file I just sent to you with my name on it, showing you that you have that configuration. You should be able to click on that setup. You can't edit it, but you can click the create your custom configuration and then use that as an example. That way you'll have your very own copy to use and edit and change around any way that you like. Well, on the 5-minute chart, you can see that I had just the trend as my setup. So the rule for the trend, all I'm doing is for a bullish condition, I'm just looking for my trend to be green. Bearish condition, I'm looking for the trend to be red, and that's it. So for the trend, I'm just looking for 5-minute trend. On the 15-minute chart, you can see I don't care about the trend. All I care about is the volume and the heat map. So I'm looking to see trend, volume, and heat map on the 5-minute. On the 15-minute, I only want volume and heat map. And on my 30-minute, I'm only concerned with volume. So you can see why I have multiple signals firing on the 5, but only a few on the higher time frames. So the condition is true. So when you see, like for the euro, you see the 5-minute, all trend, volume, and heat map values are green. So on the euro 5-minute, you can see trend, heat map, and volume. They're all green. My second time frame, I'm looking for green volume and green and red heat map. So green volume and what is that? 15 minute? Oh, sorry, 15 minute. Green volume, red heat map. Third time frame, green volume, right there, green volume. So the idea is to look for those three types of setups. If you're only looking for the roadkill, then you need to go over to the roadkill indicator itself. So over here, you can see the roadkill indicator has the signal. So that's the roadkill for M15. Roadkill volume long is the signal. Here's another one, volume long. This one is a roadkill volume trend roadkill, and it is also a volume aggressive roadkill. There's that little gray dot in the background also. It's hard to hover over it and see the exact name of that. But you can see when I'm hovering over it at this point that on the data window, here we are. Trend volume. Here we go. Trend entry long, trend entry short, trend roadkill long, trend roadkill short, volume roadkill long, and volume roadkill short. So these are the values that you're looking at. So the indicator itself is listed here. So you'd be looking for the value of those outputs on the thing. It's easier to look at just the values themselves like I've done rather than to use the roadkill, because the roadkill is a more complex value. So if you were to use this, then you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can only see down to the 8th output value. So that means that your trend roadkill long, trend roadkill short and stuff, those are all greater than the maximum output that MT4 allows for us to read. So you have to create a bridge indicator that'll go through and only output just these values themselves. So instead of having to go through and do that, just use the standard indicators like I've shown here, and that way you can do the exact same thing for that. So to enter and exit using that, you want to see that all of these are in agreement. Like for the euro, you want this, like what is showing you right now, this is a long entry. When everything aligns and is in agreement, and you know that your longer term heat map is showing weakness, then you're ready for a signal and you can go long. So you can see that on the chart, you've got signals that tell you that you can go long from that point. That's all you have to do. You're looking at the same thing to go short, but here volume is off. So look at the dollar yen. You can see that everything looks like it's set up to go short, and it did. It gave a nice short signal, so that it was all red up until just now. Just now this went green, but if you look at it, it looks like it's already in a really nice rollover and trend run. So if this does close below this pivot dot here, it'll confirm it. The volume will turn red. This will go back to blue. Where is it? Dollar yen. Sorry. US dollar, Japanese yen. This right here will go back to red, and they will all be aligned again. So that's how you would use that to enter or to exit. You see the Swiss yen is the same way. Other ones that are potentially setting up, you can see the Aussie CAD is another potential setup. The Aussie CAD, let me get rid of this window here. The Australian Canadian dollar looks like that it has a red heat map, which tells me the longer term or the 30-minute. This is a 30-minute. Is that 30? Yeah, that's a 30-minute. That one should be a 15-minute. So that's not right. Yeah, it's set up as an M30. It should be an M15. This is a 5-minute. There. M15. That's the way it should be. And then the second time frame should be the M30. Yeah, so that was just set up wrong. Yeah, so probably have to see. Let me make sure that this is up here. So that is the Hawkeye 2 Roadkill 51530. So I'll need to make sure and update that template. And make sure that the scanner is using that same heat map 5. So the 15-minute heat map, yeah, and then it's using a 30-minute. Looks like it's got the 30-minute, yeah, just the volume only. So yeah, the heat map is only considering just the 15-minute. Everything looks good. So I need a 2 Roadkill 51530. Okay. 5. A template. Save template. Looking for this one right here. And I want to overwrite that one. So save, yes. There. Now it's saved and updated. Well, thank you very much. I think it's a pretty good trading system as well. I'm glad that you like it. Arthur says he's not familiar with Hawkeye indicators. That's okay, but you are missing out. If you want to know more about them, just contact support at MT4Professional.com and we'll give you a link and a special offer to get started with them, Hawkeye, because Hawkeye integrates really well with MT4 and we use it quite a bit within the system to set up these configurations and to use them. Support at MT4Professional.com. And we'll be glad to help you out. Looks like the Australia and New Zealand has gone all green. You've got some weakness here in the Aussie CAD that could be switching over for another potentially long signal. Looks like the pound Australian is rolling over. A potential signal is in the pound Canadian as well. And that's about all I can see setting up right now. But you can see really quickly what's there, what's setting up and stuff. Sorry, Annette, I can't give you any discounts because I'm physically not part of Hawkeye anymore. So I still do training. I still help them out a lot, but I'm not part of the Hawkeye team any longer. Let's see, you want could I get the template, please? Let me see who that is. Okay, let me see if I can find you. The template for this one, all right. Let me find you on here. Okay. There you go. All right, it's all yours. Sent away. If you contact them and let them know that you're an existing customer, they should give you a pretty good discount on that. At least, I think it's a 25% discount for existing clients. If you want to upgrade or add additional tool set, so about 25% off, I think. All right. Well, you're welcome, Refugio. I appreciate that. I hope I'm saying your name right. But We got about 5 minutes left. Is there any other questions? I want to make sure you do know that one last try, that if you try MT4 Professional, you get 14 days free. Click the link here, MT4Professional.com, to lock in the 50% off rate for the lifetime of your subscription, $97 per month for everything. The full featured, even the trial includes the full featured MT4, MT5. Some of the features that I didn't cover is that if you have the members area up, then you can interface with your scanner in real time. So by clicking the setup, you can see that my scanner that I currently have running, this was the Hawkeye scanner, by the way, can be displayed on your mobile device. So let me pull that back up real quick and show you what that looks like. So this is my mobile device right here. It's my browser, and it could be on my phone, it could be on my tablet, laptop, wherever I might be, and I can pull up the scanner and I can look exactly on what my desktop is displaying, so that if I happen to step out of my office and go to lunch, then I don't have to worry about missing anything, because I can just pull up my phone, I can check the scanner. If something looks like it's starting to set up, then all I have to do is click on it. Now notice that I'm currently on the Euro US dollar. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the EuroCAD here on my mobile device. It automatically interfaces with your desktop, pulls up the EuroCAD, and gives you a snapshot so that you can look at that setup to see if that setup is ready to trade right now or not. That's the idea behind it. You want to see the setup. You don't want to miss the trade. You don't want to be tied down to your computer, and you want to be able to execute the trade if it looks good. We give you not only the ability to see it, but to manipulate it and to use it without even being at your desk. And the really nice thing about all of this is everything is cloud-based, so you don't have to worry about losing any of your data. And if you happen to be out or even away from your desk, you can pull up MT4 Professional on any platform or any computer, wherever you find yourself, log in, and all of these configurations that you already have set up will be available to you automatically. That's because everything's backed up on the cloud. So that's nice. It's a nice way to roll. At the top of every page, you'll see the ability to download the most recent copy of MT4 Professional, either for MT4 or MT5. And you have access to all of your snapshots and screenshots. So this is where you can share everything that you've been doing. So you have a nice trade set up, you're using a new software, you've got something going. We provide you with a link to share that photograph, or we give you the ability to share it and make it either global or local. So you can make these private or you can make them public, any way that you like. So any setup that you find that you want to share, you can do so, fully available on all of the social media that you happen to be part of. And of course, if you join our referral system, then you get paid at the same time. So if you like it and you refer your friends, then just simply use the link that we provide you, have them click it when they go to sign up for the trial or for the system. And when they sign up and become a full member, then you get paid. You get a full month off of your subscription. Absolutely. Headley, I can do that for you. You want this configuration? There you are. It is yours. You are very welcome. Saul. You're very welcome, Roel. Okay, I think I answered everybody's questions. Oh, you're the one that wanted me to set up the setup I just finished, or was it the Hawkeye setup? I forget. So for day trading, would the time frame be daily, hourly, and 5-minute, 15-minute? For day trading, well, you could set up any time frame that you like. You could even use 1 minute if you wanted to. Depends on what type of day trading that you're wanting to do. But usually, most people that are intraday trading will use the 5, 15, and 30 timeframes for setups. But you could use the daily and the hourly if you're trading off the 15-minute, and that still works just fine. 15, 30, 1 hour, or 15, 1 hour daily. You could even use the 4 hour. You've got time setups there as well. So this is a really great setup right here. You can see that price came up to the ceiling, was rejected right there. Let me turn this off. Right there. See that? It came right back to the same place and failed, and then gave us a really nice sell-off red volume signal. Then it went right back into trend. Look at that. Really, really great signal right there. And then it gave a nice volume signal to get out of the trade. Look at that. 30 pips, just like that. That's what trading's all about. Getting those types of signals, being able to see them. You can see the same thing even better from the 15-minute. You even got a really nice reversal trade going there. So it's a really good, really great way to see the trades. All right, well, I'm out of time. So guys, thank you very much for your time and attention. Today was on the configuration for the scanner. Next time, I'm going to spend all the time looking specifically at chart configurations. So there's a lot there. You don't want to miss it. So hope you join me for my next set of training, specifically on the MT4 Professional system. So thank you very much for your time and attention. It's been my pleasure to be with you. Again, mt4professional.com/trial to get you started on your very own copy. And be sure and contact us at support@mt4professional.com if you have other questions or want to get support on any of these systems that you have. If you have a custom configuration that you want us to do for you, then we're more than glad to do that for a small fee for our time and effort to help get you up and running. So thank you very much for your time and attention. You're very welcome, Annette. Appreciate you being here and for your loyalty to MT4 Professional. As usual, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you the next time that we're around. Bye for now.